Here's a Montec wall-mounted bike rack. It comes in a box like this. Well, here's what we've got. That would go into the spokes, and then the wheel would rest against here, something like that. You've actually got instructions. So you've got a nice diagram here. It's in English, and it looks like German. And there's a diagram of how this is supposed to fit. Here's the bottom part. Basically, it looks fairly simple. You've got a couple of screws there, and this one, I guess you have to make sure that this is mounted pretty securely if you're going to put a heavy bike on it. Nice long bolts here, some screws here. You've got some plugs here. Now here's the arm, which has its, it locks in that position, and you put that in there, and then this would be hanging on the wall like that. Another thing I noticed about this, you can see how this can rotate. So as the tire sits in there, this can kind of self-align itself. I've already got too many things hanging in the garage, but what my plan is to put this right here on an open stud. So it's a pretty straightforward thing. I just need to get these fastened in place, and then I guess there'll be another one down below. One important thing with the installation of this bracket is that you measure from the back of the bike to where this is going to be hanging on the wall. I've determined that with mine it's going to be about 5 feet from here to there. This one actually gives you a drill size of 3/16 or 4.5 millimeters for these bolts, and I suppose that's for the top one because the bottom one has smaller screws. And it also gives you directions if you're going into concrete. In my case, I'm going to be going into the studs. One thing you want to be sure about too is that you have enough length. If you have regular 4-inch studs, then there's no problem. You're going in about 2.2 inch according to this. All right, so my first hole is going to be here. What I'm going to do is put one hole in and just put this in position, and then I'm going to check if it's going to look correct or not. So I found that a 10 millimeter socket works just fine for this. So I'm going to get that tightened up a little bit. Right now I've got the top one in, so I'm going to put the bike in. Now this is not an easy task. It's going to take a little bit of practice to do this. And what I found out is you've got to keep your hand on the brake, on the back brake. Otherwise it's kind of difficult. So I've got my hand on the brake just so I can hold this in the air. And let's see how this goes. So I have this, this is going to go up onto there's a small platform there. And then, let's see, I'm going to have to lift this up. Let's try and see how this works. So that is going to catch on there. And this has got just enough clearance with the little platform below. So it looks good. It looks good. So I'm going to take this down right now and put the bottom part. Oh, it's an awkward thing to take off. There we go. All right. Release the back brake a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now this part isn't quite as difficult as putting this top one. All I've got is a center mark. I just need to put some screws. I don't need to drill any holes or anything. So I'm just going to find that mark, which is about there. Get the other one in. Now let's try the bike in place. Got my... Get a hold onto the brake just so that that thing doesn't go anywhere. All right, now I'm going to have to lift this thing up. That, get that piece over there. Okay, and over here, and actually not bad, not bad. I'm going to try to reposition that a little bit. So, pretty good. And that's what it looks like. course, one final thing I'm going to need to do is to put that extra bolt in there. And this has done the trick, I think. It's claimed some more floor space, which is something I don't have quite enough of.